So I live in Los Angeles, and here in LA we have the Chapin Festival. So what is the Chapin Festival? So for those of you who don't know, every country in Central America has a nickname. So for example, like Panama, the people there are called canaleros because, they have a canal, canaleros. Costa Ricans are called ticos and ticas. Salvadorans are called, guanacos. And so when you get to Guatemala, they are called Chapin. This festival is really cool. It has everything on display. Guatemala, the food is amazing. I go crazy over pepian. I could eat that all day long. But the thing you got to know about Guatemala is that Guatemala, out of all the countries in Central America, Guatemala is the most demographically indigenous. Estimated somewhere around half of their entire population identifies as indigenous, and legit, many of the people actually still speak the actual Mayan languages of their ancestors. So Guatemala is the heartland of the Mayan peoples. There's some in Mexico and Honduras and Belize as well, but Mayan culture is what dominates Guatemala, and you see it on display everywhere. Even in some of the street signs, they use Mayan words and letters and whatever, and they write in the Mayan language in public. It's crazy. So here's the thing. I've lived around Guatemalans for a long time, and over time I've kind of picked up on their idiosyncrasies, and it's pretty interesting. If you're Guatemalan, please chime in if I'm saying anything wrong. But it's kind of interesting because most Guatemalan people, especially the ones that migrate abroad, obviously they speak Spanish and English. When they live here in the USA, obviously. But if you are lucky, you might, and it doesn't happen very often, it's very rare, but if you are lucky, you might hear one of the Mayan languages being spoken amongst the Guatemalan peoples here in LA. It's very rare. It's usually only spoken by the elder people. There are some younger people that are learning their Mayan languages, but it's not as common, but you might hear it amongst the elder people. So at this Chapin Festival, I was at one of these booths, and I'm just looking at, something Guatemalan, like a souvenir or whatever, whatever. And then I hear these two guys talking. These guys are kind of elder guys. I'd say maybe in their 60s or whatever. So they're talking, and suddenly the conversation, it's getting a little heated. I think they're kind of arguing or whatever. And they're speaking Spanish initially, okay? And so my Spanish is kind of rusty, but I'm kind of getting the gist of what they're saying, or at least the swear words, it's cállate cabrón, blah, 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 blah. But suddenly the conversation starts getting so heated that one of the two guys, he says I'm like, ooh, that's not Spanish. He just summoned the ancestors. Oh, it was so cool. These two elder Mayan Guatemalan guys fighting each other, but they're bringing out the ancestral language. What the hell just happened? It was so crazy. I've never seen that before. And it can only be seen in the Guatemalan community. Guatemalan people, you got some cool stuff going on. I'm just saying.